Hi guys, hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I will be showing you guys how I go about doing this design on the back of this jeans jacket. It's my daughter's jeans jacket and I embroidered her name at the top. But here I made a mistake, so you guys will see exactly how I made a mistake on the recording. But I quite like how it turned out, considering that I've just started embroidering about 2 weeks ago. So 1 minute. But before I get into this video, I just want to read a scripture for you guys, and it is taken from Zephaniah 3 verse 17, and it says, "The Lord your God is in your midst, a victorious warrior. He will exult over you with joy. He will be quiet in his love. He will rejoice over you with shouts of joy." And that's taken from Zephaniah 3 verse 17. So, basically it is saying that the Lord is a victorious warrior and he is in our midst and he will exult over us with joy. When I first read that and it says that the Lord sings, and I'm like, God sings? I didn't even know that God sings. And I just bursted out laughing because, there are times when, when we think about the Lord, we think of him in such a way where we don't see him as having like normal human characteristics, where he's happy, he's sad, he sings, just normal everyday thing. But it says that we are created in his image and that is in his character. So he feels pain, when we are disobedient. He's not happy about it because he knows what the disobedience will end up causing. So as I said before, it's taken from Zephaniah 3 verse 17. So let me just get into this video at the moment because I know my daughter, she'll be coming through soon. So in this recording here, at least in this clip, which I've just started playing, I'm using the Bernette B79. I bought it about 2 weeks ago, and I'm doing a rose with my daughter's name on the back, as you saw when I held it up earlier. So I've started doing it. I didn't set it up or anything. It was just an impromptu video. I was just recording it with my phone. So I said, you know what, let me just go over it. So, but as I said before, I've started embroidering about 2 weeks ago, and in all honesty, I am actually loving it. I really do love it. I was thinking originally to purchase a Ricoma, which is like the 15 needle one or the 10 needle one, but the prices here are like way steep. And I was just there the other day, and then the Lord started to speak to me and said, why not just get a smaller machine to start off with and then see how I get along with it, and eventually I may like the big one. Sorry, let me just pause that noise in the background, and eventually I may like the big one. So that's what I went ahead and did. It's a sewing as well as embroidery machine, and I think it does quilting. What's quilting, I have no idea. Eventually probably I'll learn and I may enjoy it. So what you see me doing, I had to thread the machine with the different color thread that's needed, because I think this design is like eight or nine, between 8 and 10 different color threads that are needed for this design. Is it a bit time consuming? Yes, it is, but you know what, I don't mind it. The quicker, or at least the more I do embroidery, the quicker I will be in terms of changing out the threads. And so what I did, I just ensure that I have all my threads lined out with the colors that I need. And what I do, I go and print out like a little sheet, so I know what colors I'm gonna need, and then I just get them ready and put them in order. So what you see me doing, I'm struggling in terms of trying to thread the machine. I was struggling. I mean, it does have an automatic threader, but I'm not sure. I've tried to use it a few times, but I'm not I'm not getting anywhere with it. I just have to continue to try to use it. So I was just struggling right there with regards to getting it threaded. I think eventually I did get it, but I think what happened is that I had to cut a piece of the thread off, because you know, after a while the ends start to unravel, and then when it starts to unravel, it catches in the eye of the needle, and then it's basically impossible to thread when it starts to unravel. And that was what I was doing. I was just trying to like do this to sort of let it come together, but I think in the end I just ended up cutting it. Yeah, that's it. I ended up cutting it and starting with a much more sharper end, instead of a blunt end. And I believe I got it straight through. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's it. So I ensure I had a bit of a tail, and then what I did, I just pressed the start button to start it. And with this machine, after a few stitches, it then prompts me to cut off the tail. So that's what I'm doing there now. I'm just cutting off the tail and just putting that as far away as possible so that it doesn't get caught in my embroidery design. So that's now I'm just embroidering away. But the method that I've used is called the floating method. So I found out about that just the other day by watching YouTube videos. What it is that the fabric sits on top of the stabilizer, so you do not hoop the fabric, you hoop only the stabilizer, and then you use your spray. So I use this repositioning spray. I think I have to get some more because I'm using it a lot. And then that's it. I just put this on the stabilizer, spray this on the stabilizer, ensure that my garment has all the necessary center lines. So I'm not sure if you guys can see here. You can see like a line going down the middle. So that is where I've done all my center line, etc. And this is water soluble pen that I bought from Amazon, so it will just come off with water. And then the stabilizer that I'm using is a tearaway stabilizer. I wasn't sure what stabilizer to use on jeans, but because it's very thick, I didn't think that I needed to use like the tearaway one, which is a bit more sturdy. So basically that's what I've done. Ensure that it have a center line and just line it up. If you guys want me to do a tutorial to show you how I go about centering my garment, I will. But mark you, I'm still new to embroidery, so some steps I may get wrong, etc. So now the machine is prompting me to change to the third thread. I think, as I said before, I think it's like 10 different thread changes that I have to do. So what I'm doing now, I'm just going through the motions again and just ensuring that, you know, the end is not blunt. So that's what I just did. I just cut a piece off, and then I'm just going to go through and thread it. I think this one I did it much better than the previous the previous one. Yeah, this one just the first time. And I ensure that, as I said before, I ensure that I have a very long tail left. So when I press the start button, and then when it then prompts me to cut it, it would be, you know, it would be much easier for me to cut. So then what I did, I just lift up the presser foot, and then I try my best to ensure that I'm not cutting the actual thread that's in the needle. I've cut it as far down to the fabric as I possibly can. And then now what I'm doing, I'm just going through and starting the process all over again. Do I like this little machine? Yes, I do. To be quite honest, I think if I'd bought the bigger machine, it would be a struggle to find somewhere to put it anyway. But for now, this I can just because it comes with the embroidery arm, you can remove that. So I can just take that off, put that somewhere when I'm not using it. And because it's a sewing machine, so to speak, I can just put it in the cupboard, because it comes with a dust cloth, etc. So I can always cover it. If you can see walking in the background, it's the family moving about. We have the doors and the windows open. It's quite hot. It was very hot here today in the UK. So you know, the doors and stuff were open. It's letting a bit of fresh air. So that's why you could probably see the family walking around in the background. And basically that's it. It's just showing you on the screen to the right, it's just showing you where it's embroidering. So it's just doing that. I just love watching it. I just love watching to see, you know, when you have an idea in your head and you put it on the canvas, so to speak, and then watch it comes alive, you know. And this shirt that I'm wearing, this one, I did this as well on the machine. It says here Jesus saves, and that's another rose that I have here. And because the machine itself comes with a few designs, so that's one of them that I use here. And then it has like fonts, etc., different font styles, whether you want it curved. And this is how I got this on the back of this jeans, to have like a slight arc to it. Instead of it going straight across, it has a slight arc to it. It's not a bad little machine, put it that way. You know, you can do basically the same things. The only difficulty is because this one is not a floating arm, it's difficult to get certain things underneath it, you know, compared to if it was a floating arm, then it would be much easier. But I think eventually, once I've outgrown this one, which is going to be years down the line, then, you know, I will know, probably get one that has a floating arm, or probably get a bigger one. But for now, I will just work with what I have, because then you have to know the limits of your machine. You know, it's not everything you'll be able to do on your particular machine. If you can see a little one walking, that's my daughter there. She's learning how to do stickers and with Adobe Fresco. So that's what she's doing at the moment. And that's it. That's me. I've just pinned it. So I took the pin out because I did the trace and everything, but I was watching the screen and it seems as though it may come down a bit too far, but in the end it really didn't. So I could have left that pin in, but hey-ho. You know, as I said before, I'm new to embroidery and it's just a learning curve, but I quite like how it turned out, and I like how this one turned out as well. I think this one had 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 different thread changes I had to do with this one, but so far so good. I quite like it, you know. And if you look on the right screen, it tells you what hoop I'm using. I'm currently using the medium hoop, and it gives you the time that is left, which is, I think, is 28 minutes. And then for that particular design, it is less than a minute I have left. And the thing about it with this machine is that it automatically sets the tension for you, so you don't have to go about setting the tension or anything like that, which I quite like, because I am not good at setting tension any at all. And now it's changed. I now need to put the red, because it's gonna embroider the red. The red. 1 minute, my husband is right there and he needs to go in there. I'm telling you. But I think, hold on, just put it right there. Okay, he's gonna go in there. 1 minute. Yes, so that's the color now. I need to put the red thread in. But I think what it is that different shades of red. So you know what? Because I don't have that particular brand isocord, I just winged it with what I have. I think is bro thread. I'll put a description link in the description. Okay guys, so in this clip I'm now moving on to doing the red color, which is the part of the rose. So as before, I am just sorry, I just wanted you to see what it is. So I'm now be doing the red here, but as I said before, it's like different shades of red, but I just winged it and found whatever color looks closest. So that's what I'm doing now, and as you can see from the screen, it is just gonna stitch out those areas, and I have 27 for the overall design. And that particular stitch, those particular stitches are gonna take what, 2 minutes. Basically that's what it is. So what I'm gonna do, I think I'm just gonna speed up the video round about here, so you guys don't have to painstakingly watch, and then when I'm doing another change of the thread, then I will come back so you guys can see exactly what it is is happening on the screen. So if you just hold tight 1 minute, let me just speed up the video right about now, and then I will be back. One moment please. Okay guys, so I've sped up that clip, so I'm now gonna change the yellow to the yellow thread, which is gonna be a minute because it's not a lot of yellows. If you can see, it's just like these inner sections of of the flower. So what I'm doing, I'm putting like a thread guard or something like that over it, and then what that does, it stops the thread from unraveling. And then I am now just gonna go through and thread the machine, and you have seen me thread it before. I think what what I'm trying to do now is to show you guys at the top, and that's my son in the background, and that's my daughter. So I'm just gonna that's the thread guard at the top, and then that's how you thread the machine. As I said, it's just a normal sewing machine type threading, where you just go through, follow the directions. The good thing about it is that it has directional arrows, so it's very easy to thread. And basically that's it with regards to this machine. So far no problem. The only issue I was having earlier, not earlier in this clip, but earlier when I just got it, I was using the wrong bobbin thread. So I managed to buy the correct bobbin thread for embroidery, which is quite thin when compared to normal sewing thread. And because I'm using the correct embroidery bobbin thread, it is doing it much better. As you can see, that's my daughter. That's her. That's her in the background. I'm going up the staircase. So that's me trying yet again to thread my needle. And can you believe it? I actually was wearing my glasses in the process, but I'm telling you, I need to get used to using that automatic threader, because I think it will save so much time in terms of me threading it. I do get it right sometimes, but after a while of not getting it right, I just give up. And then that's me just now about to cut the thread, and then that's it really. and then to start it again. And then that's it, guys. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna speed up this clip here so you guys don't have to painstakingly watch me, not really watch me, but just to watch the machine doing that. So let me just speed it up now, and then I'll come back once I'm about to do another thread change.
You are faithful, faithful through all things. You are faithful, faithful through all things. You are with us, we are not alone. You remind us to hold on to hope. When we are lost in pain, we cry out your name, and you are faithful, faithful through all things. You are faithful, faithful through all things. Patience, child, rest a while. When you begin, no man can mend. You are faithful.
Okay, guys, so I am now back. So I'm now stitching out the last of the design, which is the red rose. And as you can see on the screen on the right hand side, it shows you what it looks like. And then I'm just putting over that guard over the thread to stop it coming out whilst it's in the process of, the spool is in the process of being embroidered, and I'm just gonna go through and thread it now. So once I've started once I've started the machine, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna speed it up because I'm also mindful of the time, and this video seems to be a bit longer than I thought it would be. But you know, it's just to show you guys exactly with regards to, you know, stitching out your design on a Bernette B79. You know, I thought that I wasn't able to do this on, at least do the jeans on it, but I guess I was wrong. So you know, these machines are a bit more hardy than we think, and then that's the overall design of the rose right there. And as before, it's the machine is prompting me to cut away any extra tail, and then that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting away the extra tail. So what I'm gonna do is that once it has started to stitch out the design, I'm just gonna speed up the clip, and then I'll be back when it has finished, and then when I've taken it off taken the hoop off and about to just trim up and remove the stabilizer. Right there, a piece of thread got away from me, so I am just using my I don't even know what it's called. I'm just using it with regards to trying to get it out. So that's the machine doesn't embroider the thread. And there we go. That one is gonna take, I think it's 11 minutes. That overall design is gonna take, and I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here for the next 10 minutes or 11 minutes and watch this going. So I'm just gonna speed up the clip now, and then I'll be back to show you once the design has been finished embroidering and I'm unhooping it and removing the stabilizer backing. So I'll be back one moment.
You are faithful, faithful through all things. You are with us, we are not alone. You remind us to hold on to hope. When we are lost in pain, we cry out your name, and you are faithful, faithful through all.
Okay guys, so I am now back. So my design is finished and I'm just removing it from the hoop. As you could see, it's not clamped, the fabric isn't in between the two hoops, it's just the stabilizer that is between the two hoops, and then the garment itself is on top of the stabilizer. And as I said before, it's called the floating method. I only learned this week, so I'm not a professional at it. I'm just learning it as I go along. So what I'm doing now, I'm just laying out the jacket, laying it out as flat as I possibly can, so that there are no lumps and bumps, removing the sleeves etc. to the side, and just going and tearing away the stabilizer from the back of the garment. So I'm just being meticulous in doing this and ensuring that it gives it a nice clean look, because although it's for my daughter, I still want it to have a really professional look. I don't want to have stabilizer all over the place. Some of it I wasn't able to get out, but the ones that I was able to get and access more easily, especially around the open areas, then I just went in and did that, and I found my little scissors which is much easier to cut compared to just the regular thick ends scissors. That scissors is specifically for embroidery. I think it's an applique scissors. So I got that from Amazon. So as you can see, I'm just doing my endeavor best to go through and just getting rid of the stabilizer. And that one is the tearaway stabilizer, and that is from the same brand that I bought. That is the thread, I think is Bro thread or something like that. As I said before, I'll put the name of the thread in the description, and that was bought from Amazon. I even bought some other threads from them, and it came today, and I'll be doing some designs etc with that thread. So those threads, so once I've started, once I've decided what design I want to do, then I'm just going to do a video where that one is concerned, and I'm just snipping away the excess pieces of stabilizer, and basically that's it. And I think at the end, after I've removed all the stabilizer, or at least as much as I possibly can, then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through and use my thread and get rid of the excess at the back, like the little, I think they're called jump stitches, I'm not even sure, but those little pieces, I'm just snipping them away to neat and tidy up, because as I said before, if you're doing this for customers, etc., you know, you want your garment to look professional when it is sent out, you know, because at the end of the day, you want repeat customers. So if you get into the habit from now to have a finished product that looks really, really good, then you will have repeat business from customers. And, you know, that's how you get new customers, by word of mouth, etc. So always do a good job in the first instance, knowing that, you know, there won't be any comeback to say, well, you know, the person received the product and it wasn't even good in the first instance. So basically that's it. I'm just going through and neat and fine, so to speak, and just removing the excess thread. That jumper, that jacket, sorry, if you are watching and you're here from the UK, I actually bought that in Primark. I bought that in Primark and it held up pretty well. And for those who don't know, Primark here in the UK is a very inexpensive store, you know, where you can go and you can get some quite reasonable products, but at a much cheaper price compared to like the branded name stores. And I don't see anything wrong with shopping in Primark, in all honesty. And basically that's it. It's just me going through and just clipping away the excess tails. And I've found that little one. I use the tip of my scissors to go under the stabilizer, and then once I've gone under it, I just try to pry it open and then use my finger to sort of break it apart. And it actually worked. It actually did work. So that's it. So what I'm gonna do, I think the next clip that's coming up is me now putting the name on the back, because I wasn't sure I wanted to put the name, but in the end she said she wanted her name, so I ended up going through and putting the name on the back, and I think it turned out well in terms of being centered, etc. And that's the overall design. I quite like it. I really do like it. And my daughter, she tried it on and she loved it as well. And I think that she's gonna be wearing it quite often, you know, especially the fact that it's like customized for her specifically and everything like that. So in the next clip you'll be seeing me doing with regards to embroidering her name on the back. So this is the next clip. So I've gone through and I have put the letters in and I've made an arc, but the problem I was having is this thread. It says it's embroidery thread. I bought it from the high street here, from one of those trimming shops, and to be quite honest, I don't think it is machine embroidery thread. Sorry, I don't think it is machine embroidery thread. I think it is more for like hand embroidery, because when I compare the two, the one that I got from Amazon compared to this one that I got from the high street, the one from the high street is very thick and the one from Amazon is very thin. Mark you, it was doing a good job, but then it started to unravel, and then it was just one big hot mess. And you're gonna see it, because what happened is that the needle ended up coming out and then got stuck, and then it was my husband who actually came and helped me. So what I was doing, I was just slowing down the speed a little, because I was just watching it, because I'm like, nah, I don't like how that is going at all. So far so good. Hold on, let me just shut the door. And I think it's gonna come right about here, where, there we go. It started to give problem from right about there. It just started to mess up, and then in the end I had to go and remove. That's my husband and I were just discussing we were just discussing it. So that's me. I'm just trying to remove the thread. Yeah, see, and now it's just one big mess right about, yeah, right about there. So I was just pulling down because the thread started to unravel, so I was just pulling down as much as I possibly can, and then I think I ended up cutting it, and then I think I went in and rethreaded it again, but then it started to mess up. And I think what's gonna happen now in the next clip, 1 minute, because my daughter my daughter is saying, let me go, come shut the door. Thank you. I'm telling you, when you have kids and you're trying to do a recording, there's never a moment's peace, but it's all good at the end of the day. So that's me just trying to rethread it again. And it is such a pretty, it is so pretty, but I realized that, as I said before, that it was way too thick for doing the embroidery, especially for machine embroidery. It probably would work, but not for the needle. I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I'm just not going to be using it anymore for machine embroidery. So as you could see, I was even struggling with regards to getting it rethreaded because it is that thick. But the thing about it is that I've used that before with regards to I'm not sure if it's embroidery. See, I've used it since I've received this machine, or I just use it as straight stitch. But even so, when I was using it to just stitch normally, it was giving me problems. So I don't think I want to be using it, because that's it. Sometimes when you buy these threads from the high street or from the local stores instead of like a specialist store, you're gonna end up problems. So just ensure that you have good materials to start with. And you know, it started off well with me doing the trimming, etc., but you're gonna see, I think it's the next clip coming, because I'm watching the clips as we're speaking. So I think it is in the next clip you're gonna see where the problem just starts. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, there we go. I started to get a bit frustrated with it at the moment and said, you know what, let me just change it. So I said, so that's it. I went for the one that I bought from Amazon. See, I said, no, not that one. So I'm just gonna move over now to get a better one. So what I did, I just tried to compare the two to see if they are similar in terms of color. And looking at it, to be quite honest, you wouldn't really notice the difference from afar. So that's what I did. I just went through and I just rethreaded it with the thread that I bought from Amazon, and then after that it went and it worked perfectly well. So I'm just gonna let me see. I'm just trying to thread it as usual. It's a bit difficult at best, but let me just speed up the clip right about here. Or do I need to speed it up? I'm not sure, because I just want you guys to see. Yeah, I'm gonna have the problem now. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have the problem. I'm just trying to, because I can't remember if I'd recorded it or if I'd stopped the recording, because I think I panicked when I heard the machine made a sound and then the needle came out. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. So what's happening is that I didn't keep that recording. So instead what I did is just I moved on to it. So what is gonna happen now, Sorry, I paused it by accident. Yeah, there we go. There we go. I panicked. So this clip is that after I stopped the video and I started all over again with the proper thread. I absolutely panicked when the needle came flying out and it got stuck in the hole, and it was my husband who helped me to remove it. Luckily it didn't break. It didn't break. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to speed it up now whilst it do the remainder of the letters, and then I'll be back to show you guys the end result. So give me a minute and then I will be back. One moment.